Hello and welcome to Rich Life African Tales. Today we have a story about love, kindness, mistakes and forgiveness. About a woman whose heart lifted a young man from nothing, and the journey that taught them both the power of patience and true love. If you love stories that touch your heart, teach important lessons, and leave you inspired, make sure you subscribe to Rich Life African Tales and turn on the bell so you never miss a story that can change the way you see life. Are you ready to step into this journey of love, regret, and second chances? Let's begin. Lady Victoria was a rich woman of 40 years who lived in a beautiful home that many people admired. And even though she had money, comfort, and respect from the community, her heart was very gentle and full of kindness toward everyone she met. She became rich through many years of hard work, patience, and wisdom, and she never forgot the days when life was not easy for her, which is why she always helped people who were struggling without making them feel small or ashamed. Every morning, Lady Victoria greeted people with a warm smile, and many in the village spoke kindly of her because she shared food, advice, and hope whenever she could, believing that helping others was the true meaning of wealth. Even with all these good things around her, Lady Victoria often felt a quiet emptiness inside her heart, because when the day ended and she sat alone in her house, she wished she had someone who truly understood her kindness and loved her for who she was, not for what she owned. She sometimes looked at the sky in the evening and wondered if true love still existed for someone like her, and she softly told herself that she wanted a love that was honest, respectful, and full of peace. This deep desire stayed hidden in her heart as she continued living her life with kindness, not knowing that soon she would meet someone whose life she would change forever, and whose choices would later test her heart in ways she never expected. Mosh was a young man of about 25 years who had very little in life, and even though his days were full of struggle, his heart remained humble and calm. He lived in a small place with almost nothing to call his own, and every morning he woke up early to look for small work that could help him survive another day. Many people passed by him without noticing his effort, but Mosh never allowed anger or pride to control his heart, because he believed that good behavior and discipline were more important than riches. Even when life treated him unfairly, Mosh spoke politely to everyone and respected both the young and the old, and this made some people admire him quietly. He often told himself that one day his life would change if he remained patient and honest, and he promised in his heart that if he ever succeeded, he would never forget the pain of having nothing. As he walked through the village each day, carrying hope instead of money, Mosh did not know that destiny was slowly guiding him toward a woman whose kindness would lift him from the ground and open a new chapter in his life. One calm afternoon, as the sun rested gently in the sky, Mosh crossed paths with Lady Victoria in a simple and unexpected way, and this small moment became the beginning of a great change in both their lives. Lady Victoria noticed Mosh because of the respectful way he spoke and the patience he showed while waiting for small work, and instead of passing by like others, she stopped and spoke to him with kindness. Her voice was soft and respectful, and this made Mosh feel seen and valued in a way he had never felt before. As they talked, Lady Victoria learned about Mosh's struggles, and her heart was touched deeply, not with pity, but with understanding and care. She decided to help him, not because she wanted praise, but because her heart believed that lifting someone was the right thing to do. Mosh listened quietly, feeling surprised and grateful, and in his heart he promised never to forget this kindness. As they parted ways that day, both of them felt something new begin, though neither of them fully understood it yet, and the road ahead quietly waited for them. As life continued to move forward, a young lady named Carol entered Mosh's life, and she was about 23 years old, close to his age, lively in her ways, and very friendly in how she spoke and laughed with him. Carol liked spending time with Mosh and often made him feel excited and noticed, and because she was young and playful, Mosh slowly began to feel confused in his heart. Even though Lady Victoria had given him care, guidance, and love, Mosh started comparing the calm love he shared with Victoria to the new attention he was receiving from Carol without thinking deeply about the meaning of true love. Little by little, Mosh allowed his thoughts to drift, and he began spending more time with Carol while growing distant from Lady Victoria, even though she had done nothing wrong. Victoria noticed the change in his behavior and felt a quiet fear in her heart. but she chose to remain patient and trusting, because she believed love should be gentle and not forced. As Mosh continued to follow his confusion instead of his values, he stood at a turning point in his life, not realizing that the choice he was about to make would bring deep pain to someone who had lifted him from nothing. As time passed, Mosh finally made a choice that changed everything, and he chose to leave Lady Victoria and follow Carol, forgetting the love, care, and support that had lifted him when he had nothing. When Lady Victoria learned about his decision, her heart felt heavy and broken in a way she had never felt before, because she could not understand how someone she trusted so deeply could forget where he was lifted from. She sat alone and asked herself many painful questions, wondering how kindness could be repaid with such deep disappointment. And her tears flowed quietly as she remembered all the moments she stood by him. Lady Victoria felt both hurt and annoyed in her heart, and she spoke softly to herself, saying that she would never love again because the pain was too much to carry. Even though she was rich and respected, this pain made her feel weak inside, and she chose silence instead of anger, allowing her heart to mourn what she thought was true love. As Mosh walked away believing he had made the right decision, Lady Victoria remained standing in her pain, holding on to her dignity, not knowing that life would soon teach Mosh a lesson that would lead him back to the door he once closed. After Mosh fully chose to be with Carol, he believed that happiness would follow him. But as days passed, the joy he expected slowly faded away. Carol began to show a different side of herself, one that lacked patience, understanding, and care. And this made Mosh feel uneasy in his heart. Small misunderstandings grew into heavy silence, and Mosh started to feel lonely even when he was not alone, because the peace he once felt with Lady Victoria was missing. As he compared his present life to his past, Mosh remembered how Victoria listened to him, guided him, and believed in him even when he had nothing. Regret slowly filled his heart, and he began to understand that excitement without kindness does not last. This realization weighed heavily on him, and for the first time, Mosh admitted to himself that he had made a serious mistake by turning away from true love. Not knowing yet how hard it would be to face the woman whose heart he had broken, Mosh spent many days thinking deeply about his choices, replaying every moment he had shared with Victoria in his mind, and he realized that he had lost the most valuable thing in his life. He remembered how she had lifted him from nothing, how she had guided him patiently, and how she had always believed in him even when he could barely believe in himself. The weight of regret filled his heart, and he felt shame for forgetting the love and kindness that had always been genuine and unwavering. Every memory of Victoria's gentle words, her encouraging smiles, and the quiet care she had shown made him feel small and sorrowful, and he realized that no excitement, attention, or companionship could ever replace the love she had freely given. Mosh understood that he had treated someone precious as if she were ordinary, and the emptiness with Carol reminded him constantly of his mistake. Finally, he made a decision that took all his courage. He would return to Victoria, face her pain honestly, and apologize sincerely, even if she refused to forgive him, because he knew that he had to own his actions and show true remorse. When Mosh returned to Lady Victoria, his steps were slow and heavy, weighed down by guilt and shame, and his heart raced with fear of what he might find. Victoria was waiting, not with joy, but with a mixture of pain and quiet anger, for she had spent many days hurt and wondering how someone she had lifted from nothing could forget her kindness so easily. As Mosh knelt before her, his eyes full of tears, he spoke honestly, admitting his mistakes and asking for forgiveness, knowing fully that he had no right to demand it, only to hope for it. Victoria listened carefully, her heart torn between the pain of betrayal and the kindness that had always guided her. She reminded him gently but firmly of the love she had given, of the patience she had shown, and of the life she had tried to build with him. Though hurt, she saw the genuine remorse in Mosh's eyes, and for a moment her heart hesitated between letting anger take over or allowing her kindness to guide her. In the end, Victoria chose forgiveness, not because the hurt had vanished, but because her heart believed that people who truly change deserve a second chance. That day, a bridge was rebuilt between them, delicate yet strong, as Mosh promised never to repeat the mistakes that once tore them apart. After Victoria forgave Mosh, life between them slowly began to heal, and a quiet happiness returned to their hearts. Mosh, now truly aware of the value of Victoria's love and kindness, worked every day to show that he had changed. He listened more, respected her feelings, and always remembered the struggles she had helped him overcome. Each small act of care and honesty he showed reminded Victoria that her decision to give him a second chance was not in vain. As days turned into months, their love grew deeper and wiser than before, built on respect, understanding, and the lessons they had both learned. Victoria's heart, once filled with sadness and the thought of never loving again, now bloomed with renewed hope, while Mosh cherished her every word and action with gratitude. Together they shared laughter, dreams, and quiet moments of peace, knowing that their bond had survived trials and had emerged stronger because it was rooted in true kindness, patience, and trust. The story ended with a clear lesson for everyone. Real love is not measured by wealth, youth, or excitement, but by honesty, loyalty, patience, and the willingness to forgive. Even when mistakes are made, a kind heart can heal, and those who learn and change can find love that lasts forever. Wow, what a journey! Thank you for watching this story of kindness, love, mistakes, and second chances here on Rich Life African Tales. We want to hear from you. What would you have done if you were Victoria or Mosh? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's talk about the lessons in this story together. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss another inspiring African story. And if this story touched your heart, share it with your friends and family so they can learn the power of kindness and forgiveness too. Remember, every story here is more than just words. It's a journey of life, love, and lessons we can all take with us. See you in the next tale.